Bonus this week as we're joined by McKinney girls golf coach Jeff Jacobsen. And Jeff, your team comes in 5th at the district tournament, just like last year. This year, though, your team relied on a lot of underclassmen, a lot of youth. What was the challenge in depending so much on freshmen and sophomores who were dotting the lineup?
Well, when you're dealing with freshmen and sophomore, for some of them, it's their first time to go to districts. And it's a lot different than any other tournament, whereas at districts, you tee off on the first hole. There's tee times. It's more like what you'd see on TV, versus when we go to most tournaments, they're shotgun start, and everybody just kind of goes out and you play from there. But there could be spectators there watching, and a little more intense situation for some of them for their first time. That's a little different.
And what a strange district tournament this was last month in Rowlett. Instead of the usual 2-day, 36-hole event, it was shortened to 27 holes because of the vicious hailstorms, the tornadoes that ripped through the area. How did your team handle the abrupt end to the district tournament?
They did really well. You know, as always when we go on these tournaments, because we're outside, all the coaches have radars on their phones, and we're very up to date on stuff. So as we saw the weather starting to turn bad and move into the area, you know, our primary concern is safety, and we wanted to get everybody off the course. So we got everybody in off the course, and everybody was kind of getting hunkered down, and then the hail came in, the tornado sirens went off, and we just, you know, the golf tournament kind of took second place to everything, to what was going on, and safety became the primary issue.
Where did you guys hide out?
We put some in the cart barn. We put some inside the clubhouse. It's not a very large clubhouse, so we got some inside the clubhouse in the bathrooms, and we just went to the areas we thought were the most safe and secure. But it was definitely an interesting twist to a district golf tournament.
And like you say, Jeff, golf takes a secondary position to safety at that point. But the unfortunate thing is, weather robbed your top 2 players, Jamie Coffin and Maddie McSwain, possibly record-setting rounds. Jamie made the turn at 39, Maddie at 40, through 9 holes. What were those two doing so well on the course?
They were really playing good course management, looking at where they needed to be, finding the safe places to hit the ball, not getting in the traps or the water, or putting themselves in the right positions. And then when they made the turn, they were actually going to the easier side of the course, and they were both doing very well on the front 9, which was our actual back 9. But it would have been really fun to see where they would have ended up, because I think they both would have shot some great scores for the school.
Coffin ends her career as a 4-year varsity player. She did so much for your program. What kind of legacy does she leave behind?
She has a great work ethic. She is playing in a lot of tournaments all the time on her own, going to practices on her own. As a matter of fact, we've talked, and she's going to OSU. She wants to go to veterinary school. And she has said she's only played golf for 4 years, and she's already shooting in the upper 70s, lower 80s. And she said she's going to play some tournaments this summer and see if she can walk onto the OSU team. And I think that would be unbelievable. That'd be great.
Meanwhile, Jeff, Maddie McSwain should become a 4-year varsity player by the end of her career. 2 years into it, what did she show you as a sophomore this season?
She showed a lot of heart, a lot of integrity. She really has a good work ethic as well. You know, I tell the girls, golf is like school. It's like any other sport. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. And she really has a good work ethic. She tries real hard. She's got a great personality on the golf course. You have to have a very short memory on the golf course, and she's got a pretty short memory.
Besides Jamie, you had one other senior on this team, Sierra Ross, who is a dual sport athlete. She also plays volleyball. What did you like about having Sierra on your team?
She's a lot of fun. She brings a great personality to the team. She's got a real good work ethic as well, because she does play 2 sports. You know, she comes from varsity volleyball, and their season starts in the summer. So she's got a great work ethic, comes in, you know, really tries hard and puts her best foot forward, and that's really great for the underclassmen to see that.
Yeah, and it's a practice in time management as well, I'm sure, when you're trying to balance both in the summer and fall, preparing for the spring golf season while also competing in your own volleyball season at that time.
It can get a little hectic sometimes. So,
both your varsity and your JV took 2nd place at the Naaman Forest tournament before the district event. What was clicking that day, those days at Naaman Forest in that tournament for you?
It was a great day. The weather was really nice. It wasn't as windy as it usually is here in Texas, and the girls just played really well. I mean, it wasn't some of the best golf I've seen, but they were out there scrambling. And sometimes you can put up some really good numbers scrambling, because you get focused. Other than going, you know, fairways to greens, sometimes when you're off in the woods a little bit, you got to think a little harder, and it can really make you stay concentrated and focused on what's going on.
While two seniors depart in Jamie and Sierra, you have a foundation with young players, especially Maddie McSwain, the sophomore who has 2 years remaining. What about the young players besides Maddie have you the most excited as you look forward to next year?
Well, we have several sophomores that will be coming back and a lot of freshmen, and that's always exciting because you want to see them drop about 10 strokes in a year. And usually they can drop anywhere from 8 to 10 strokes in a year. And if you can get them around 100 their freshman year, then they can get down into the 90s and then the 80s, and then let's see how low they can really get. And so it's really exciting. I'm really excited to see. I've got some freshmen that came in to their first district tournaments and performed very well. And I'm really excited to see what the future holds for our team.
What do you want them working on specifically this summer, those young players?
Well, the old adage of you drive for show and you putt for dough is true. I know it's a lot of fun to go out there and hit the long ball all day, and it looks really neat. But if you can chip and putt, if you can get from 100 yards in, you're competitive with everybody because everybody's got to get 100 yards and in. And if they can work on their short game and work on their putting, it knocks just a ton of strokes off.
There's no doubt they'll be preparing for the new district coming up next year. McKinney Boyd, of course, a district champion a few times over from 10-5A, another champion in Allen, which was the state runner-up this past season. How do you compete at that level? You've been in a pretty tough district already. What's the difference now as you move into Class 5A?
No difference. It's still group. It's the individual versus the golf course. Even though you've got the other schools out there, Allen. I mean, we've traded Highland Park for Allen. So there's really no trade-off there for us. But it's the individual versus the golf course, and then the team concept kind of makes it all fun and exciting, but it's one-on-one, you and the golf course, and it doesn't matter if you're playing in Texas or Alaska or wherever you're playing, it's still you and the golf course.
Jeff, we appreciate the time. Best of luck going forward.
Thanks a lot. Enjoyed it.
Jeff Jacobsen, head coach of the McKinney Lionettes. Don't call them young anymore. McKinney has experience as they make the jump to Class 5A next year.